1944.
Yep.
To give you an idea, that farmhouse was here, and the building on the left side, yeah, that's new, the tower there, but it's also here. That building was built after the war, so that was open.
Yeah.
If you see this farmhouse was here. That barn was here. You can see it on the curved windows.
Yeah.
That was typical for that period of time. The building next to this one was also there, but it was an open one. There was only the roof, no walls around it. And that building there with the straight windows wasn't there. There was an open view, and you can see to the end there was a forest. It's wide open. A few weeks ago, the family Cassidy was here, and at that time we had two stories about what happened that day. One told by a resident, Janus Sprangers, a child from 13 years old, and two, Private Davis, who survived the patrol. There's a story I mailed to you a couple of months ago.
Yeah.
But these two stories came together so that we have a better picture of what happened that day. So, and that's the story that I would like to share with you.
Yeah, sure.
So what happened on October 21? Actually it was a quiet day. Actually it was a quiet day, so Uncle Edgar and Private Cassidy. Actually it was a quiet day, and a new officer appeared to the group, Lieutenant Stanning. He was a brand new young officer who wanted to improve himself, so he decided to do a reconnaissance. Only that was overbold because a night patrol already was planned. But he formed a group with 4 people, with Private Cassidy, Sergeant Taylor, Private Davis, and the Lieutenant Stanning himself, and he went out on patrol before darkness fell. And at some point they arrived at this farm. And if you look at the map, credits to Oscar, he made this map. The headquarters was situated in Zonderijgen.
Oh right, yeah.
Zonderijgen, you can compare it with this town.
Yeah.
It's a very small village. It was situated south of Baden-Nassau, and the company, that's the company of your Uncle Edgar, was situated the northwest of Zonderijgen in the hamlet Ginhoven. And we are standing now here.
Yeah.
You can see the farmhouse, that building over here, and you can see 2 buildings here.
Yeah.
There's on the other side, the road is there. This one is the farm I told you with the listening post.
Oh yeah.
That was bombed by the RAF. So they came here out of the forest.
So did they walk across?
Yeah, I think.
Yeah.
How much? 3 miles?
3
4
it's not
miles?
that, yeah.
At least.
Yeah.
So they came through the forest, the open field. The idea by entering this farm was to change some eggs for tea.
Yeah.
But unfortunately a German motorized patrol arrived at this farm just before them, and they had a Spandau sitting in that hayloft over there.
Oh,
Maybe can we look on the back side?
Yes.
Maybe you can walk to there. Let me show.
I suppose they thought the Germans were
Further away or not in the area.
This one was built after the war. I told you there was an open view over here. And when the patrol was coming to the farm, they opened fire. So Sergeant Taylor was hit in the neck. Lieutenant Stanning took a burst in his shoulder, and the other 2 dived for shelter into the ditch over there. And that ditch, we have to go back to the map, is still there. You can see this one.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And we call it the Olgahoeve. John?
Yes.
Yes. So moments later, Cassidy was taken unhurt, and Private Davis, who was hit in the arm, he ran back to the forest. So in the first period of time here, the Germans take care of the British soldiers. The boy of 13, Janus Sprangers, had seen with his own eyes that Sergeant Taylor even get a glass of milk from the Germans.
Right.
So, moments later they were put in a barn there, and the Germans were deciding on their fate because they wanted to leave this place, and they had just room for one more. I think they were here with a kind of motorized vehicle. The one they want to take is always highest in rank, so there has to be the lieutenant. So they take the lieutenant out, and moments later a German trooper going inside and give Cassidy and Taylor a full magazine of his rifle.
Right. Oh, I always assumed he was killed on the first shot. I didn't realise.
No.
He was,
Yeah, that was an opinion. That was the idea of Davis, but you have to imagine it was already getting dark.
Yeah.
He was a few hundred yards away in the forest, so I think you can shot in your neck and you fell down.
Yeah.
Then maybe the idea was that he was killed already,
right,
but
right.
he survived the first shot. So the farmer, his grandfather, was told to bury them. Like I told you, remember this place on the other side on the road, just before the new building over there.
Yeah.
So there was the first field grave. Only here is a strange situation. Normally the Commonwealth Grave Registration take care of the dead soldiers, but here it was led by Cor van der Bok with a group of volunteers. Cor van der Bok was a citizen of Baden-Nassau.
Oh, right.
So we buried them, placed them at the graveyard at the Dutch church, and the nice thing is, if you can call it nice, they are buried next to each other. So they are killed here together and buried them together. So we did a little bit of research about Lieutenant Stanyan. I hope you want to hear it.
Yeah.
He was taken here to with the Germans, and they find him later in a small place called Hemer, near Dortmund, in a prisoner of war camp. He was laying down there in a hospital because he was still badly injured by a burst in the shoulder. That camp was liberated by the Americans, and they have brought him back by plane to the UK. So he had not a long life, not have been married. I think he was died in 1958.
No, that's not
so,
is it?
No, and he was born in 23, so 35 years old. It's not very old. No. And in my opinion, just my opinion, Cassidy and Taylor didn't have to die here.
No, no.
It was, I tell you why. Normally 2 other members of D Company has to go to the patrol, namely Anderson and Inch. But Stanyan decides on the last moment that Cassidy and Taylor has to go to the patrol. Yeah, so Stanyan is not good luck for the family Taylor and Cassidy. The Germans were leaving this place, and the headquarters was behind this farmhouse a few hundred yards. And I think they were just checking the movements here. So if they were a half hour later, they didn't run into the Germans at all, I think. So
just unlucky. Yeah.
And it was a little at the end of the war here. They died October 21, and October 28. The front was moving again, so they were all leaving here. So 1 week too early for them. So it's a bit pity.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
So if you can see this building, we're not here. You see a little bit of the roof of the farmhouse. So you can imagine if you have a door opening on the first level.
So they would come in this.
Or from that direction. There was forest over there.
Yeah, so they put over there, they're totally unaware of it.
The rest totally open.
Yeah,
You can see there, that's a bit red roof. That's the building the government built for the elephant. Oh, it's gold here. So you can imagine when you're walking along an open field. Is this an we aan de Olgahoeve daar of niet?
Yeah.
It's a nice ditch to shelter
Yeah.
if they're shooting at you.
Yeah.
And there's the forest. But most of us come down. What a silence.
Yeah.
David was very lucky.
Yeah. 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 'Cause by the time you hear the shots, that's it.
It's just sad that he, yeah, because you didn't know, you thought he died instantly.
I did,
And the
yeah. Yeah.
I don't know if the family thought that because I don't think
I don't know. I don't know
what they thought.
No, I don't know what we were actually told.
No.
But Kevin, did they in your family did they talk about what happened to your uncle Edgar? Or?
Yeah, we knew that he died on that day in the on a mission out of the village. Yeah, but,
But I must say with your father dying
Yeah.
when you were quite young as well,
Yeah.
it kind of didn't get passed down probably
Yeah.
very much
no, that's
to
it.
people. You were still
Yeah,
in your 20s when
yeah.
your father died, so the story didn't get.
My grandpa. I was only 5 years old when my grandfather died.
Okay, that's young.
Yeah, so you don't really hear.
Now we have British soldier here where still lives brothers, sisters living, and then you hear the stories about from the parents that for the first time they hear their son was killed in action.
Yeah,
I think that's devastating.
yeah, yeah. I would think my grandparents just got the official telegram and it would just say killed in action, so they wouldn't know anymore.
No, probably didn't know
They
much
wouldn't
about.
know, no.
Mm-hmm.
Unless somebody from the regiment got in touch. I don't know.
I don't know either, but strange thing is I told just to Oscar Edgar has a different stone than the other one.
Yeah.
So we were thinking, when is this stone placed here? I think it's been very fast after the war, so
Yeah.
sometimes they reported a mission in action, so it can take a while before that they get a death notice.
Yeah.
So I think your family that you told get a death notice right away,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and they their reaction was to buy a stone or something like that. Or, I don't know where it's made, or it's made in England or made it here. I don't know. But
I think the tale I heard, my auntie who died about 6 or 7 years ago, she said that the family had a collection as soon as they realised that he'd been killed, and they wanted to put a stone up straight away.
Okay.
And I think it was ordered somewhere in this area. It was they paid for it locally. So
okay,
I don't know
could
how.
be, yeah. But like Carl van den Bak, who take care of the dead people, he wrote in his archive that Sergeant Taylor was wearing in his pocket a photo of a man and a wife. Dus I think it was his wedding photo.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Or maybe from his mom and dad, I don't know, but I think it was his
Yeah.
wedding photo.
He only got married the previous year. He got married the previous July, I think it was. So he hadn't been married too long.
Did they have children?
No.
That period of time they often married because
Yeah.
they was pregnant or something like
Yeah,
that. So.
yeah. I think he got married because he'd been in Iceland for 2 years.
Mhm.
He came back to the UK and then was told he was going overseas again, so they got married before he went overseas. So your father did the same, did he? Got married before
D-Day.
D-Day, yeah.
Your father?
My father was at D-Day, yeah.
Ah, okay. And in which regiment?
I have no idea.
Oh.
I'm a woman, these things don't mean. I just know.
Is he still alive?
No,
Oh.
no, he died about 15 years ago.
Yeah.
Okay.
But he was at Dunkirk and he was at D-Day.
Thank God.
We recently, only a month ago, went to the beach at Dunkirk for the first time, which he was 5 days on the beach at Dunkirk.
Okay, yeah.
So, waiting for a boat.
Not a pretty location to
No.
be.
No, I still have some letters that he wrote back to my mother.
Yeah.
They weren't married at the time, but he wrote back about the retreat to Dunkirk and some of the fire when he came under fire and things like that. And I was lucky that he got through and survived everything. So.
Because the British were going back to the UK. My grandfather was in the Belgian army. He fought for 18 days, but he had no chance at all because the British soldiers were gone. So they have to retreat. So he was also taken prisoner in Sulzbach in Germany for I think 3 or 4 weeks. I think he has to work on a farm, something like that. I think they let him go.
Yeah.
So he was going to home by foot. So he never talked about it.
No, my father didn't.
Well, they wouldn't talk. They didn't talk.
I knew nothing about it till I found some letters after that my mother had kept that he'd written to her about the war.
Maybe his medals, something like that.
My nephew, he gave those to my nephew.
Okay.
So they'd gone to the other side of the family. But, yeah.
No, he said to me one day that there's too many things go on in war, and you don't talk about it afterwards. It's just what's happened.
But he was on D-Day.
No,
D-Day
4 days later, I think.
a few days later.
About 2 days on.
2 or 3 days later. He wasn't on the 6th, but he was sort of the same week.
I suggest we go back to the car and go to the graveyard. Lay some flowers.
I don't know about earlier photos. I've got one from about when he was probably 3 or 4 years old, but that's all.
I have to send one message to one guy who wanna give you something. He's coming to the graveyard. What happened, and maybe you can share it with your family.